Hello everyone, welcome to China Overview again, and we'll continue to talk about the traditional Chinese festivals. Just remember in the last lecture I mentioned that today we will learn about the Chinese Valentine's Day. Are you interested in that? Let's see what it's like. Chinese Valentine's Day, or in China we say it's 七夕节 or 七巧节. Or we say the Double Seventh Festival. The date is on the 7th day of the 7th lunar month, and it often goes into August in the Gregorian calendar. The origin is between the story of the cowherd and the weaver maid. As we said just now, it's a Chinese Valentine's Day. It's also one of the world's intangible heritages. The customs are the girls making needlework, and nowadays it's also has some new customs. For example, it's a day for the boys or the girls to express their love to each other. How it's like? Now let's see the story behind the 七夕节. So as you can see in the first picture, you can see a cowboy. His name is Niu Lang. And Niu Lang fall in love with the weaver maid. The weaver maid, actually, she is the goddess in heaven, but they fall in love and they got married and they even have kids. However, the weaver maid's mother, that is the goddess, the empress in heaven. So the weaver maid's mother, she was so furious at the fact that her daughter married a common cowboy. So he asked the military persons to bring the weaver maid back to the west heaven. And Niu Lang, he was so sad and depressed. He begged to ask someone to flew him to the heaven. And he finally saw his wife, the weaver maid, 织女. But the weaver maid's mother, she was still very angry at their marriage. So she used the hairpin and to make a cross in the sky. And then the cross becomes the river. So the weaver maid and the Niu Lang, they were separated on the two banks. The Niu Lang was so sad. He cried day and night. And he missed the weaver maid a lot. The magpies, they were touched by the love story between Niu Lang and the 织女. So they invite hundreds of thousands of magpies to gather together and to make a bridge so that the Niu Lang can ride the magpies onto the heaven and see 织女. And 织女's mother, the empress, she was touched a little bit. So she said that, okay, every year, Niu Lang and the 织女, they can meet each other. And that date is the 7th date of the lunar July. That's the love story between Niu Lang and the 织女. So I think you must be moved by the story. And after that, let's learn about the Mid-Autumn Festival. And actually, it's another love story between Hou Yi and the Chang'e. Let's see. So Chinese people are very romantic, I think. The date of the Mid-Autumn Festival falls on to the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, and usually in October in Gregorian calendar. It's originated between the story of the Hou Yi and the Chang'e. And nowadays, with the customs of the Mid-Autumn Festival is the family gathering, and people will eat mooncake, because mooncake is round-shaped, so it has the meaning of gather together. And now let's first see the story between Chang'e and Hou Yi. It's also a very sad love story. So now story time. It's said that long ago, there were actually 10 suns in the sky. And the 10 suns, they scorched the land. So the people have nothing to eat. So what can people do? And one person, whose name is Hou Yi, he's very brave and very good at archery. So he chased the sun and he shot the sun one by one. When he was going to shoot down the last sun, the last song begged, please, please forgive me. I would rise in a given time. I will get down in a given time. Please, I promise. So Hou Yi said, okay, so if you can keep your promise, I will keep you in the sky. So we have the one song in the sky. And because of this story, people were moved by Hou Yi's archery skills. So they came to Hou Yi to learn from Hou Yi. And one of his students is Peng Meng. And Wang Mu, the goddess in heaven, she was very grateful of Hou Yi's deed for shooting the 9 suns, because she thinks that Hou Yi did this right and it's for the people. So she gave Hou Yi the elixir peel. If Hou Yi took that, Hou Yi can fly to the heaven and live forever. But the bad guy Peng Meng, he heard this story. So one day when Hou Yi was out, then Peng Meng came to Hou Yi's door and he forced Chang'e to give him the elixir peel. Chang'e was so frightened, but she was not able to fight back with Peng Meng. What can she do? At that moment, she took the elixir medicine by himself, and then he flew towards the heaven. So Hou Yi, when Hou Yi was back home, he saw that, oh, his wife was in the sky. He tried to run after Chang'e, but he was not able to catch up Chang'e. Hou Yi was so sad. When he looked up in the sky, he saw in the moon there's a young lady who resembled his wife very much. And so he put a table in the garden and he prepared some of Chang'e's favorite food on the table. And every day he would go to the garden and look into the moon and remembering Chang'e. So the neighbors, they heard this story and they were touched by the story. They also set up a table in the garden and prepared the food for Chang'e. And then it becomes a custom for people to enjoy the moonlight on the 15th day of the 8th lunar month and prepare the moon cake. And people think that the story between Hou Yi and Chang'e is a very sad story, but it reminds people to treasure the family time, the quality time better. So it becomes a custom for people, for family to get together on the mid-autumn day and to eat mooncake, which is supposed to be Chang'e's favorite. So that's the origin of the mid-autumn day. And now we'll see the Double Ninth Festival. The Double Ninth Festival is actually, it's called the 重阳节. It's for the seniors in the country. The date is the 9th day of the 9th lunar month and usually falls in October in Gregorian calendar. Its origin can be found in I Ching, that is the Book of Changes. So in I Ching, number 6 is an yin character, so it's connected with famine or negative. And number 9 is a yang character. It's associated with masculine or positive. And the 重阳, 重 can also mean double. So the customs of this day is to ascend a mountain or a power. And in the year 1989, the Chinese government decided the Double Ninth Festival as a senior's day. So we all hope that the old people can have a long life. Yeah, that's the origin of the 重阳 Festival. And now let's see a poem about the 重阳 Festival. 9月9日忆山东兄弟，独在异乡为异客。每逢佳节倍思亲。遥知兄弟登高处，遍插茱萸少一人. So actually, this is a poem to show some customs during the 重阳 Festival. Let's see the English translation. On the mountain holiday, thinking of my brothers in Shandong, all alone in a foreign land, I am twice as homesick on this day. When brothers carry dogwood up the mountain, each of them a branch, and my branch missing. I hope you enjoy this poem, because based on this poem, we can see that on this day people would climb the mountain, enjoy the beautiful scenery in autumn. The last festival I like to talk is the winter solstice. Well, that's a winter festival, 冬至. The date of 冬至 is on December the 22nd to the 23rd, according to the Gregorian calendar. Yeah, attention here. This is according to the Gregorian calendar, not the lunar calendar. The origin is in the spring and autumn period. The northern hemisphere on this day experiences the shortest daytime and longest nighttime. After the winter solstice, days will become longer and longer. As ancient Chinese thought, the young or muscular positive things will become stronger and stronger after this day, so it should be celebrated. And what would people eat on this festival? Can you guess? Yeah, the customs in the northern China is to eat a dumpling and drink soup. In southern China, we eat a meal made of red bean and glutinous rice. The winter solstice rice dumplings, the sacrifices to ancestors, etc. And why would the people eat dumplings in the winter solstice? Because you can see the shape of a dumpling is not only like the golden ingots, but also like your ear, right? So it's said that if you eat a dumpling in the winter solstice, then your ear would not be frozen, so you will not be afraid of the coldness in winter. So remember, eat dumplings in winter solstice. So that's all for today's lesson, and we have covered all the traditional festivals. And in next lecture, we'll learn something about traditional Chinese medicine. Yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye.